Hello everyone, we are live at the Little Elm Public Safety Center. We have just arrived here and had a wonderful meal. I don't know what time of day it is, but we've been driving across the country. So we are going to try this Facebook or YouTube Live thing and see if we can get reception. As we've been making our way across the country, we've had miserable cellular service, so I apologize for not having been in touch before. But we are just about to take a police escort to Dallas. We just got off the phone with Richard Rawlings, Alex Roy and I, and Jason Hendricks, one of the officers who is organizing this awesome event. It has been quite the experience and very, very different than the runs that we've done in past years. But we're just running through the... and here is Mr. Roy right now. We've struggled with YouTube Live, but we're going to try it on this leg of the trip. It's supposed to take us something between 30 minutes and 2 hours. We're not exactly sure. But the prior attempts at live broadcasting had miserable audio, so we're going to see if this can work. Our fine Chevrolet Suburban, vintage 2017, rented from Enterprise, does not have good aerodynamics, and so the wind buffeting makes it a little bit terrible for managing to capture audio. But we're going to get in here and try to see what we can achieve. Pardon my hand as we mess with this mount. All right. Hey. That looks pretty good. How's the audio, listeners? Hello, Fabian Munoz. Hi, Aaron Wiens. Excellent. Well, so we are again in Little Elm, Texas, and we are on the Cannonball Memorial Run. And that is an event where we drive across the country with a bunch of cops. Very different than our normal cross-country exploits, but honestly, quite a That's right. Failure to understand and accommodate certain things. Like CarPlay. All right, we've now become attached to CarPlay. Are we? We'll try to answer the questions. Yes, we're live. All right. So, the question was just asked: do we speed? And the answer is yes. And we do so with relative immunity, it appears. Alex was pulled over yesterday, almost crashing into the back of a state patrolman. And I was pulled over this morning after completely having no idea that I'd been followed by a police officer for a good little while. And fortunately, when they pull over, even when you're in a large SUV filled with lots of guns, none of them ours, but many there are, as well as many bullets, and someone who's very trained in using them. This is Jerry.
Hey gang, how are you?
And he is the gunsmith for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office. And we are chugging right along. So we'll try to keep this rolling as long as cell service permits, and you'll get to meet more of the gang. This is John Bannis getting in, one of the founders of the Cannonball Memorial Run. Fabian says, hey, Jerry.
Hey, baby.
And we are chugging right along. If you're looking for our itinerary, you can find it on the drive in an article composed by Alex, released yesterday. Some of the times will be modified between now and our arrival in D.C. on Sunday afternoon.
We'll post updates on the Alex Roy 144 Twitter.
Yes.
And Alex Roy 144 Instagram.
And we'll also be going live later on today on the Drive Facebook page.
Jerry, can we keep this in the back? Take some out of here. Okay.
Our 2017 Chevrolet Suburban with 27,000 miles on it is asking for an oil change. Relief it shall not find.
It actually says oil at 3%. Is that correct?
Well, 0% remaining now. We've gotten it to 0.
We'll find a Jiff Lube.
Yeah. What kind of food do we have? We actually just had our first legitimate meal of this trip. We had brisket made for us by the chief at Little Elm Police Department. We were here to honor one of their fallen officers. We're making 13 stops across the country to honor.
Better than the brisket from last year.
Oh, it was even better than the brisket they had last year.
San Antonio area, folks. Little Elm. Hit up Larry. He's got the best brisket, hands down.
Absolutely.
And sauce too. Very good
yes,
sauce.
Was quite proud of it and justified in the pride. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So we just crawling in the back here. This is Jason Hendricks, another co-founder of the Cannonball Memorial Run. Lean into frame here. There we go, repping Polizei 144 in the headgear. And I don't know that we'll achieve an entire stream. We've kind of been cruising rather quickly through the middle of nowhere, and we will do our best to keep it rolling as much as we can, but that has been difficult. So I don't exactly know what type of escort we can anticipate here. We've got a motorcycle here,
unit,
and that unit.
Got other units.
Another,
All right.
3 more units.
So from Little Elm to Dallas is about 37 miles, and we've had it estimated that it will take somewhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours. So we'll just have to find out. Waze says
Hey, Jerry.
36 minutes.
I'd say 6 p.m. local.
6 p.m. local time, estimated arrival. So we are in Central Time now. Rather broad swath across the United States for Central Time. To give this fine motorcyclist some room, I am going to begin backing our gigantic Chevrolet Tahoe up.
Are we on this,
No, we're not.
So
on YouTube?
we are live on the VINwiki YouTube channel. So we've got 24 viewers at the moment. 19 of you have liked it. Let's get that up, guys. And we'll just keep this chugging right along. So if you can, you may want to share the link. Guys, please share this link so we can help spread the word. This is an amazing cause that Alex and I are exceedingly thrilled to be a part of. And so you can donate at cannonballmemorialrun.org /donate. You can also find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It'll also be useful to follow Alex Roy 144 on all platforms as he's on multiple live videos. We are being police escorted away.
Thanks, Jerry. Gonna miss you.
Excellent. Full lights and sirens this time. We've had the whole litany of police escorts, including a pivot from a traffic stop earlier where
Hey, let's get in front of them. So that, let me tell them because we got the video.
Okay. So
hey guys, let us pass by because we got the video going.
we are about to run this red light. Do it. So we're in a black Chevrolet Tahoe. They are in a white one. Buffeting. We're cruising through Little Elm. Thank you for the wish for a safe trip. Beautiful lake for Little Elm. I don't know what it's called, but it's lovely.
Yeah, they shows always wear the white hat. Or drive in the white Suburban.
There we go. Wow. So our total itinerary is around 4,200 miles over about 3.5 days. The estimated total time of driving will be about 77 hours. Average miles per gallon so far are probably something like, I don't know, 13 and a half. So probably not that dissimilar to what we got in the 2013 2850 run in the CL. That was 13.6 miles per gallon. And these guys are not messing around with the police escorts at the moment. Alex, anything to add?
I cannot believe how good the brisket was at the public safety office back there, and often wondered how great Southern hospitality can be. Southern hospitality in law enforcement is among the best in the world. These folks can cook. That was really great. It was also really amazing to see that they had this girder from 9/11 in the lobby, and that they had sent units up to New York after 9/11 to help clean up the pile.
Yep.
And apparently, when they lost their officer recently, 100 officers from NYPD came down to support them and attend the funeral. They said that this was the first officer they'd ever lost.
Wow.
Ever.
And so what we're doing on this drive is trying to both raise awareness and raise money. And so you can donate online at cannonballmemorialrun.org/donate. You can also find them and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'd recommend that you do so. There's a lot of live videos that we've been able to upload in smaller bits on Facebook, so please check those out. This is one of them being composed at the moment. So multi-camera angles available to you now from the Cannonball Memorial Run. But also we're trying to raise awareness. On average every year there's about 161 officers killed in the line of duty. And Alex and I are here to raise awareness about driver safety. That may sound ironic coming from people who tend to somewhat fly in the face of law enforcement, but we all have to support what law enforcement does. We've got to get behind causes like this, donate where we can, support with our time, and it's a wonderful opportunity for Alex and I, and something that neither of us had any interest whatsoever in turning down.
Well, which is funny because we just got a call from an old friend,
Richard
Rawlings just called, and I was wondering, if this was the kind of thing you want to get behind.
And a couple of the guys that are riding along with us had reached out to Richard over the last couple of weeks to let him know what was happening. And we'll talk a little more later about the idea of a cannonball. But Richard called this evening, and Alex can tell you how that went.
Well, Richard only really calls me once a year when he wants to trick me into having dinner and then stand me up. But this time, I knew there was only one reason he was calling. He knew that the Cannonball Memorial Run was coming to his hometown, and he wanted to be part of it, but apparently was in New York and couldn't make it. So we called him back, and we got Jason Hendricks, Sergeant, is the founder with John Bannis of the Cannonball Memorial Run, on the phone with him. And Richard tried to bait me into how much money I donated. So, of course, the answer is I could never afford to donate as much as Richard makes in a day. And Richard, on camera, said he was going to donate $20,000 to the cause, which is absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, Richard, you demonstrated a real character. I knew you had it in you, and I'm really glad that you donated to this cause, because the Cannonball is it is part of what America's all about, and connecting it to law enforcement and supporting this cause is a really important thing.
Absolutely.
So I want to say I'm surprised. That would be unfair to Richard, because we had some great times together. So thanks a lot, Rawlings. That was really solid.
Absolutely.
Freaking awesome.
Really
And
awesome.
it's been awesome to see the donations rolling in through PayPal as we've been on the road and before the run, and you'll be able to donate. The goal is for this to become a foundation that can support the families of fallen officers, not with money that comes through application processes and grants and things like that, or even insurance policies that require certificates of death that take weeks, months, sometimes even years to resolve. The idea here is immediate relief of $10,000 wired to the account of the family members less than 24 hours after an officer has fallen. It's something that's desperately needed, and that's what we're here to talk about. So right now we are crossing a very large bridge in the great state of Texas on our way to Dallas from Little Elm on the Cannonball Memorial Run.
Escorted by a unit and a motorcycle unit in what has to be a more effective use of police lights. They're not using sirens than we observed in some other places. LA traffic really is a lot worse than Texas traffic. If you talk about traffic in Texas, you're just not a serious person. But these guys, looks like we're going to make it in 30 minutes, unlike the 1 to 2 hours we were warned about.
Right. They're doing a brilliant job. And what's even more impressive, quite honestly, is the respect that each of the people also using this road have for the law enforcement they're finding in their rearview mirrors as we waft by.
Which would make it a great place to come through in a fake police car, because respect for the law is absolutely absolutely what I depend on whenever I want to get from A to B as quickly as possible.
Which is something we had to enjoy early on, because you'll all be familiar with Police I-144A, the 2000 BMW M5 Alex set the world record in 2006 driving from New York to Los Angeles in, but you might not know there was a Police I-144B.
Well, it's a big country, and I didn't want to drive across too many times, so I bought a second one as a parts car, left in California to use on my tour, and then was contacted by a police officer in Oklahoma who wanted to buy it. And since he'd been part of the investigation that nearly put me away for years, I thought, what better home for my beloved 144B car than
Lake Dallas. Lake Dallas.
Lake
Dallas PD just had an intersection blocked for us.
Thank you, Lake Dallas Police Department.
Who knows how many extravagant benefits we would derive from riding with the police on this event. I can't wait to we hear real traffic.
Yes, so I believe we are just about to get on the highway. One of the motorcycles just streamed right on past. They are doing a brilliant job. How's the audio for everyone?
1,000 feet. Turn left on
Sounds
South
like it's all
Stevens
right.
Freeway.
Whoa, a lot of units are out up there.
Oh goodness, we have got the whole highway intersection
Reconnect.
obstructed.
Alex, what's that? Yeah,
Look at this. Sorry I can't offer multiple camera angles, but this is something to behold.
would be if I had reception.
Nice. What are we doing?
Ed, that's the city of Corinth.
Oh,
City
there.
of Corinth.
This is where we are.
This is where the escort.
The
ends
escort
here.
Oh, no.
have concluded.
They got us onto the freeway.
We spoke too soon.
All right. They said, get out of our fair town,
See it back there.
you scofflaws.
That's the
Oh,
that's the EOA association. He's gonna follow along.
Ah, well, would you like to take the shiny blue lights and
I
not
hope so.
and lead
You should go
rather?
first.
Well,
So let's
slow
let
down,
him slow down. Let him catch up.
all right, we're about to merge onto this highway. Nice Shelby Mustang flying past there.
That'd be excellent bait if only we could convince him to go ahead.
Please.
In 1,000 feet. Stay to the left.
Yeah, there is.
Stay to the left to I-35 east south.
Thank you all for watching. If you will, please share the link to this live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you'd like to post it. We appreciate your support.
To exit 445. President George Bush Turnpike.
All right.
There you go.
Will you make that not go away? There we go.
All
All right.
Now let's just hang tight right here.
See
and
if
let him
Mr.
pull
Blue
up in
Lights
front.
wants to come along, or shall we just... I think he might have just turned them off. No?
Did he?
All right.
He may just be following along. I mean, which is cool.
I have to say that I've developed quite the hatred for the safety systems on the 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe. It, as
This
you...
is a Suburban.
Suburban. Yeah, all right. I don't hate this one, obviously, but ones like it that also have this seat vibration, lane departure warning, and this strange feeling electronic correction of your steering wheel as you change lanes. I hate it. It's awful. And you can't seem to turn it off, but if anyone can tell us that how to do it, we'll be infinitely grateful. Yep, we're in Texas. We're headed to Dallas. It Waze estimates that we're 22 minutes out with a 5:46 p.m. local arrival time, and we are chugging right along in what honestly looks like a high-speed police chase at the moment, because there's a SUV with blue lights following us, but they don't seem to be too fundamentally perturbed. They've got them on rather than flashing. Is that any less illegal?
No, you should slow down and let him get in front.
I'm pretty sure that if it's a guy working for the police union, you can do whatever you want.
I would slow up, let him pass us.
Well, I tried that earlier, and they didn't pass us.
Let me see.
Well,
Let me see what the truck looks like.
it's that
Might
rat
be the-
truck. It's the POA truck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
He's gonna follow us.
He's going to follow.
He's gonna follow
Oh,
us.
okay.
That doesn't help.
What if he'd like to eat us? There we go. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Excellent. as we've said, you can also tune into Facebook Live on the Cannonball Memorial Run Facebook page and see another angle of this.
Mark, quit texting me.
What's Richard Rawlings' Instagram?
R. I think there's a third R. Rawlings. Yep. We'd also like to thank Richard Rawlings again. Earlier today, he made a donation of $20,000 to support this cause. What we're driving across the country for, we're stopping in 13 different precincts that have lost officers in the line of duty in the last 12 months. This started last year when Jason Henderson, John Banna, sergeants for the San Bernardino Police Department, county sheriff, made a drive across the country. Alex got wind of it, told me about it, and obviously we were interested in doing anything that we could to help. That ended up being come along. And so we've been here not only to save them some miles behind the steering wheel, but also to educate and help a lot of these officers understand. Because so far, actually, when we left, we were told that 35 officers had been killed in single vehicle car accidents. It's one of the leading causes of death because as a police officer is in the line of duty doing everything they do, they end up being distracted by all the gadgets. They got the adrenaline running of the job they've got to do, understanding the dangers that they encounter on a daily basis, and accidents do happen. And so in the same way that Alex and I prepared for years and years prior to our successful cross-country runs, we've tried to employ and encourage the local police into these precincts to take driver education, vehicle preparation very, very seriously, because good preparation leads to good results.
Ask them if their audio, if they're hearing you. Somebody just jumped into here and says,
"Hey guys, how's the audio?" No comments on that. Perhaps that means that it's not very good.
Julian is in the Cannonball one and is saying YouTube stream audio is messed up. I'm in here now.
All right. Well, we're doing our best with the bandwidth that's available to us. It is sometimes we're moving rather quickly. We'd hate to confess how quickly we might be moving, but our goal is to spread the word and spread the awareness as quickly as possible. There we go. Flashing lights now. 3.6 miles to our next turn as we head towards Dallas, Texas. Alex, tell the fine people where they can find more updates from yourself.
I'm actually just updating that information right now. You can find updates on ETA to checkpoints at Alex Roy 144 on Instagram and Alex Roy 144 on Facebook. And I will be rolling out some more content and video on the Drive Facebook with Ed this evening and throughout tomorrow and the rest of the weekend.
That's right. So you be sure to like the Drive so you'll get the alert of when we go live there, and we'll do at least a few live broadcasts there, and we'll be rather constant in live Facebook broadcasts on the Cannonball Memorial Run Facebook page. But
let's just list them. VINwiki, Cannonball Memorial Run on Facebook, The Drive on Facebook, Alex 144 on Facebook and Instagram. But if you want the best video, you want to start with YouTube on VINwiki and followed up by Facebook Live on Alex Roy 144 on Facebook, and then the Drive.
Absolutely.
And donate.
Please donate. Yes,
and donate.
That's the most important. There are challenge coins that you can buy to commemorate our drive this year. They'll be available there. You can email the guys in charge through the website. But, it also might be interesting for you guys to know a little bit more about the history of Cannonball. And as we've got about 15 more minutes in the car, it might be a worthwhile pursuit for us. Because, interestingly, even though a lot of us have seen the movie from the 80s, a lot of people don't know that this was a real thing that happened. There were 5 Cannonball Baker Memorial Sea to Shining Sea Trophy dashes done in the 1970s, 1970, 71, 72, 75, and 79. And then the U.S. Express followed as sort of a continuation event from 1980 to 1983. You can learn a lot more about that in the soon-to-be-released director's cut version of the 32-hour, 7 minutes movie that Alex is producing.
There's also a fine wiki page, which talks about all historical events, mentions you, mentions me. And actually, you should probably talk about Cannonball Baker himself.
For sure.
How much do you know about Cannonball Baker?
He had plenty of impressive drives, more than you or I shall ever aspire
That's
to.
true. And so back at the dawn of the automotive era, Cannonball Baker was hired by car manufacturers to drive cross country to demonstrate the reliability of the first internal combustion cars. And so
Exit right to exit 445, President George Bush Turnpike.
This guy is taking us not to the toll road, but they
I
look
guess
to run
let's
parallel.
follow
the blue lights.
the blue lights. So Cannonball Baker drove a Cadillac, a Stutz, and a lot of other brands that are now defunct across country. And the first recorded time in an internal combustion car, I believe, was 271 hours. That was before the interstate highway system existed. So this is a lot of gravel roads and a patchwork of routing in and around major cities. That's a seriously good time in those conditions.
Insanity.
Insanity. He then went on to set records all the way through the 60s, I think, when he passed away. Is that correct?
He did, yeah. It was over 100 point-to-point drives, as I recall.
Yeah. And he also brought with him journalists on each drive, although we won't talk about that. And he went on to also set records in Cuba and South America.
Turning to the right.
Thanks, guys.
Save that one real quick.
So,
To the right to President George Bush Turnpike East.
so Cannonball Baker is the real grandfather of all these events. And then Brock Yates, who was an editor at Car and Driver, decided to call his event the Cannonball Baker Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash. And that started in 1971. Do you want to tell the next part of that story? But he went across in one car in moon trash.
That's right, to figure out what was even possible, because it was an idea that sort of developed out of these newly instituted 55 mile per hour speed limits.
He also wrote an amazing, if you are an American of any, this is above politics, he wrote a series of essays in Car and Driver about why he was doing it. And the 55 mile per hour speed limit was certainly part of it, but it was a symbol of kind of the oppression of, he felt was of the human condition. Like, why can't people better themselves, be responsible, and be free to do things that don't hurt anyone in a kind of libertarian, hyper-libertarian philosophy?
Right to exit 445.
I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this off.
Can I chime in for a moment?
By all means.
This driving cross country from coast to coast is an Americana sort of thing. Because when you do this, you go through so many states and you meet so many different people from so many different backgrounds that you become a part of the fabric of America. This is the cat's meow. It's the cat's meow when you do something like this.
This is Sergeant John Bannis that you're hearing, and one of the founders of the Cannonball Memorial Run that we're currently on. And we are in traffic en route to Dallas, not too terribly far away, with great help of the Little Elm Police Department and their supporters. So we're chugging right along, but the final Cannonball was run in 1979, and that was sort of a blending of this expression that Brock Yates started out with, that capable cars driven by capable drivers can do impressive things in crossing this country.
Safely.
Yes.
Safely.
And they, in 1979, as they were already planning with Hal Needham to create the movie that was released in 1981, they kind of stepped the game up with the antics, with the costumes, with the ruses, and that's where the idea for the ambulance that was used in the movie, that was actually driven by Brock Yates and Hal Needham, with Pamela Yates, well, not Pamela Yates at the time, but who would become Pamela Yates, Brock Yates' wife, on their way across the country. And the winning time from that year was 32 hours and 51 minutes by David Yarborough. And
yep.
What was his?
Hines.
Yep, David Hines and David Yarborough.
Yeah.
Yep, and in a 1979 Jaguar XJS.
That's a miracle that a Jaguar XJS finished the race without breaking down.
Precisely. So Yates had been told repeatedly by Car and Driver to stop doing this, and after he had reached his movie deal, he had agreed more contractually not to do it anymore. But there were people who still wanted to do it. And so Alex will now tell you about the U.S. Express.
So the U.S. Express ran from 1980 to 1983, and this was organized by a guy named Rick Doherty. And Doherty had been a Cannonball and felt that there had been too much attention drawn to the Cannonball, and that it was attracting too many people who would be unsafe drivers. So he selected, I think the first one was it 10 entrants or 12? I'm trying to remember.
One of those two. I've never seen a formal list of all the entrants.
I have the list that I have not shown you ever for reasons I forget, but maybe just to annoy you. And so the U.S. Express
the reason you wake up in the morning.
Some days. And so the Express was kept a secret because they were concerned that if the authorities found out what they were doing, that they would put an end to it. So on the U.S. Express, which roughly followed the route of Cannonballs, which had really two routes. They had Connecticut to Newport, and they also had Manhattan to Newport. And the U.S. Express followed this ish. And a friend with the number that is not have an name attached to it. Let's focus. So the U.S. Express, the last one, the time was 32 hours and 7 minutes. And according to legend, the FBI threatened to shut this thing down if it happened again, and everyone was going to be in a big trouble. So the U.S. Express ended, and to the best of my knowledge, I think your knowledge, there never again was in the 80s or 90s an organized multi-car race across the country.
That is correct.
So
we're going to pause for a moment because Waze is telling us to turn around, and it's making us saying we have a longer time.
I entered the address given to me by Sergeant John Lannis, 1400 South Lamar Street. Let's double check.
Wait, do we miss you following this guy home? Fair enough.
1400 South Lamar Street.
So the U.S. Express ended in 1983 with the fastest time being 32 hours, 7 minutes, and a Ferrari 308 GTS driven by David Diem and Doug Turner. David Diem still owns that car today, although he has taken the fuel cell and special electronic preparations out of it, unfortunately.
I'll do everything in my power to prevent you from buying that car because I want it for myself.
But you don't have a place to park it.
Nor the time or money to fix such a vehicle.
It's in good shape. It's got some miles on it.
It's also probably the most reliable Ferrari 308 of all time.
Yes.
Because it was prepped specifically for this drive.
Correct. But nothing happened from 83, really until we started to see these rallies sprout up. Other than the Cannonball One Lap of America that Yates organized for car and driver. And that has continued to this day. It's now run by Yates' son, Brock Yates Jr.
A lot of people wanted to do a thing like the Cannonball run and couldn't find it or attracted to rallies like the Cannonball and others, which are nothing like the organized cross-country races, except for the handful of people who tried to bend it towards that dream, which I was seduced. And so I decided in 2005 to try to invite people to organize a race. I couldn't get anyone to go, including Richard Rawlings. Nobody would go. So we ended up going across alone in 2005 to see if it was possible. Because everyone said, and Yates' book Cannonball, which is worth reading, it came out in 2001.
Yep, it came out in 2001. He said in the epilogue that
38 hours is that's it.
Yes.
No one will get across the country faster than 38 hours. And due to traffic and construction, just can't be done.
There were twice as many people, twice as many cops, and it's been and there was no reason for any of us not to believe it.
And I believed it for a couple of years. So in the end of 05, in December of 05, actually in November of 05, Corey Wells, the producer of 30 Hours of Minutes, came to me and showed me a film with all these guys talking about how it was impossible. And one guy named Mike DeGon
guys like Alex and Richard on Gumball, preparing cars and treating this rally as something as a race, really a race within a rally. You find that 90% of the people out there cared nothing about when they would finish, but there were people who very much did care about maintaining high averages, properly preparing a vehicle, and doing everything they could to get there as fast as possible. So after Alex made the run in October and was waiting the year to finish his book and let the statute of limitations run out, we hear from Richard Wallace,
who claims that he had gone across in 31 hours and 59 minutes with no evidence whatsoever. So at the time, I've been waiting to get the clear from my attorney to go public in October of 2007, which was a 1-year anniversary of us having gone. And so we decided to let Richard go public and make his claim, knowing that 4 months later we were going to crush it. And the theory was that the more press he gets, the more we will. Somewhere that summer, he was supposed to be on Jay Leno's garage, and a video was shot of him there, and they decided not to air it.
Right.
And we suspect it's because Jay Leno's guys found out about us. So we go public in October of that year, and then some time passes.
That's right.
And about 6 years pass.
And on October 19th and 20th of 2013, myself, Dave Black, and Dan Wong set out in 2004 CL55 AMG from the Red Ball Garage to the Portofino in Redondo Beach in 28 hours and 50 minutes. And that's the record that stands today. And we found out in that window of time that our interpretation of what Cannonball was in a modern context was not the only way people were doing it. We found out about 2 events called the 2904 and the C2C Express. And these were sort of blending the spirit of Cannonball with the 24 hours of limits. Cheap cars in an endurance race. So each had budget limitations, and I've done both of those since then. In 2002, or we did in 2015, we used a 2002 S55 and won the 2904 with a time of 32 hours and 5 minutes. And in 2016, we did the C2C Express in a Bluesmobile, a 1974 Dodge Monaco, with Arnie Toman and Forrest Sibley.
I love those guys.
Absolutely. Hello, Arnie. Hello, Forrest. And so that was 34 hours and 17 minutes. And so we won't be setting any records now, but there is, in fact, what we're on now, a third interpretation of the spirit of Cannonball. And it's using this idea that captivates the hearts and minds and right feet of American automotive enthusiasts to compel us to drive across the country, not for a selfish cause, but in fact to support law enforcement. So we've got with us a bunch of cops, which is rather surreal for Alex and myself. Not the way we tend to nurture those relationships, but we're thoroughly enjoying it.
I would say to people that if you haven't driven across the country at any speed, you have to do it. Because it's possible in our lifetimes that we may not be able to drive across country 30, 40 years from now. Who knows? With self-driving cars, it's possible. And it is this thing, this manifest destiny. I love the idea that California is the finish line of the world. People love driving west.
All right, it looks like our audio is struggling again. You have one of your microphones? Let's take this out. Guys, we do see some of the comments, but we are driving an automobile at the moment. We have this additional microphone. Let's see if it makes it better.
Hello, VINwiki YouTube audience. Can you hear us?
So there's lots of other things that go
Way better. That is what we like to hear. Alex, why don't you try to find a new place to wedge that?
Put it in the contraband box.
and the getting an ivory window that is keeping it from getting good audio. So now they're back up there. Continue with the story.
Right.
And the only thing is that if you wedge it like that, we can't really see you.
Oh, it's all right.
Well, I'm fine with that. Here it is! Hey!
Look at this.
Can you guys all hear us?
The whole gang is here. Hello, YouTube.
Can you hear
You
us?
can even see Jerry in the far back.
Oh yeah.
Did we block the view of the comments somehow?
I don't know.
Oh. All right. Hello, everyone. You're hiding on my phone in the contraband box. We've now managed to generally lose our police escort, but we will regain it.
You know that this phone is gonna live there for the rest of the journey. We're gonna swap out phones for the rest of the thing.
Right.
We should, something. Next time we do this, we'll get one of those FLIR night vision cameras.
Oh, we'll
have
have
it pointed
everything.
backwards so you can see everybody's faces, even in the dark. That would be super cool.
All right. So
Let's just recap one more time who's in the car. So we have obviously Ed Bolian, the head of VINwiki and the Cannonball record holder. I'm Alex Roy, the prior Cannonball record holder, and his friend. Jason Hendricks, John Bannis, founders of the Cannonball Memorial Run. Hey, Jerry.
In the back.
There he is, who is Gunsmith.
yes.
Gunsmith of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. Jerry, I have a question. Have you seen this TV show Street Hawk?
It's been a long time.
And do you remember the opening title sequence?
No, not at all.
Street Hawk, Jesse Mock. He's a motorcycle cop injured in the line of duty. Now he's fighting crime, riding Street Hawk. So we're in traffic. We'll be there in about 23 minutes. How long are we going to be at that checkpoint, guys?
About 2 hours.
So if you are anywhere near that location, Dallas Police Headquarters, come on down and see us. We'll be there for 2 hours. We're driving 2 Suburbans cross country to raise money for the families of fallen officers. And we are bringing 2 kind of mythologies together and doing this for the first time for a good cause. When I say a good cause, I mean a cause other than our personal glory.
Sorry about the audio, guys. We had to open the window to wave our police escort by. We got a little separated in this stop-and-go traffic. We hope it's all right now. But we've been walking you guys through a bit of the history of Cannonball and arriving where we're at. What?
People.
Yeah,
You give them an inch, they'll squeeze.
They will squeeze right in. So we talked about the Cannonball Baker Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash from 1970 to 1979, run by Brock Yates of Car and Driver magazine. We also talked about the U.S. Express, organized by Richard Gardy from 1980 to 1983, and then really nothing happened. And Alex set his record in 2006. Richard Rawlings, who just donated $20,000 to our cause earlier this afternoon.
Thank Rich.
Thanks,
right.
Richard Rawlings.
Thank you. Did you hear that, babe? $20,000 from Richard Rawlings.
That's right.
Gas Monkey Garage.
So
Say that right?
That's right, Gas Monkey Garage. We'll say it properly. We do very much appreciate you, Richard. Thanks so much. Richard's in New York, so he won't be able to join us in Dallas, but it's very much an honor to have him as part of this great organization and getting behind this amazing cause. So we are cruising into Dallas, and then we set our record in 2013, and now we have events like the 2904 and the Sea to Sea Express, which continue the spirit of Cannonball in a much more affordable context. But now, we are live. We are going across the country again, not just us outlaws and scofflaws or whatever you'd like to call us. We've got the cops with us.
Oh, wait, we have a question. How do we donate? So if you want to donate, go to cannonballmemorialrun.org, right?
That's right.
And you will find a donate button. And your donations will go to create a fund that will send $10,000 in the first 24 hours after the death of a police officer in the line of duty. And it's a great cause. And every year, I think as of today, unfortunately, the number is 161. So, check out cannonballmemorialrun.org and /donate.
That'll get you to the PayPal donation. There is money available to the families of these officers. There are insurance policies and things like that, but those take a lot of time to get to. So this is an immediate relief effort. This is something that doesn't exist for many of the police-related and benevolence fund charities in the United States. And so that's why we're so excited for it to exist and to be a part of it and to be supporting it by driving across the country.
Is it a 501c3 and tax deductible?
Absolutely, yes, it is. is a 501c3 tax deduction. And,
Nonprofit. We have our nonprofit status with the IRS and also with the state of California where we're located.
and someone's asking, what are those aviators? Well, they are Ray-Bans, which I asked to have made in my prescription because I can't see without them. That is true. And they are mirrored and tinted because it's super 70s style. I'm just saying. I also have in the pair, underneath my pile of scarves, these aviators in yellow and pink because I like to see through rose-colored glasses.
As you deserve to.
That's very sweet, Edward.
So we're stopping at 13 different precincts, going from Santa Monica to Washington, D.C., and each of these precincts have lost an officer in the last year. And so we're presenting them with plaques, with challenge coins, and with our deepest sympathies and respect for the sacrifices that these law enforcement officers are making on a daily basis. But Alex and I are also here to educate these police officers with what it takes to prepare yourself for the job that they have. Because
I have to stop you right there because we have some questions about what it takes. And if we remove, say, Jason's hat, and you'll notice that he also has a very handsome haircut. One of the questions was, how do you shave that head so clean? And like all members of law enforcement, we each have our own way of getting ready for the workday. Jason, how do you shave your head?
Broad electric shaver.
I find that the electric shaver does not offer a clean shave. And when I wear a police hat, even a fake massages, I find that my collection of fake police hats is not really comfortable with an electric shave. So I like to have a clean shave. I alternate between a dull Gillette Mach 3 because Gillette are thieves, and it's unbelievable if you charge those blades. But even a dull one can do a very fine close shave. And occasionally, what is the cheap one? Like 20 in a bag for like $2. I find the Schick Bic. The Schick Bic can be fine. It can be fine if you moisturize enough, and even a bar of cheap Ivory soap. You just let it marinate, and it's good. So let's move on. Thank you, Bubbles, for asking that question. Edward, you were talking about preparing for the workday in law enforcement.
So every day these guys lace up their boots, they are out taking risks to keep us all safe, and it's a job that is much more thankless than it deserves to be, and it's something that we need to support. But if you look at the preparedness that was required for Alex and I to cross this country without incident years ago, it was in fact very similar to what these guys have to do every single day of their lives.
So similar that a fake police car is often the best way of going cross country. But look, going back to before you and I went to Damon Turner, 1983, and some of the guys in the 70s, the preparations, these guys were installing mountains of electronics in the car, and they were studying how the police and the military executed operations. And they treated it like Le Mans, like a professional car race. And they would bring all their supplies. And there's a great story about how to prepare to train to drive cross country. And the line. Get in your car, install all the gear in it, and sit in your driveway without driving for 30 hours. And if you can sit in that car with a second person without losing your mind, you have just begun the journey of having the type of focus and patience to drive a car at high speed safely.
Kind of like what we're doing with Jerry in the third row seat.
Yeah, right. He's being trained right now to know his place.
It's a science experiment. I've been a part of many, and this is just one of them.
But there's an interesting psychological, it's a convergence, because you look at the guys in law enforcement, a lot of them are ex-military.
Yes.
And then you have a lot of guys who wanted to be race car drivers, end up off in aviation. And so in all these areas of expertise, where you have like high stress jobs with a lot of situational awareness and a lot of issues to manage, you have a convergence of people who are pilots, people who are in the military, people who are into engineering, people who are in very, very high focus and high stress situations. And that's why cannonballing, flying a plane, being an officer in a high speed pursuit, all have overlapping problems and the same solution. You've got to be trained, you've got to be focused.
And following
It
us.
says the audio's bad again.
Oh, come on.
How hard can it be to have good audio when
We don't seem to have a problem with that.
how can you hear us now, viewers?
This is unwatchable because the sound is utter meh.
I can hear you guys just fine on an iPhone 4. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, an iPhone 4.
You know that
Even with a busted cable, it still works.
the fun thing about the iPhone 4 is that so when the space shuttle went up, they were using tech from 1968 through 75 because they used basic 8086 processors because they were reliable. They knew exactly what would happen. And
Thanks, Alexander. They're just having problems on their iPhone 8,
this is a 6.
a 6, but it's got some special microphone.
Hello.
Oh, we're sorry about that.
Uh-huh. His ears are bleeding.
What's your name again? Minna from Channel 23 in Dallas.
Oh, it's the guy that interviewed us. He's meeting us there.
Doing good, just fine, just fine.
So we have the media calling us right now.
What's your GPS say?
606.
Arrival at 606. Our GPS says arrival at 606 at the 1400 South Lamar Street address.
Where's the
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so. Daily Plaza? Kennedy was
Daily Plaza?
That's right. No, it's just right over here.
Okay.
Here it is.
Well, guys, we're sorry about the
Okay,
audio
that's fine.
quality, but we hope you can watch us.
We're
make our way.
broadcasting live right now via our Facebook and everything. So we're getting ready to drive there. Pepe, we'll look for Pepe. Right on. Thank you. Bye.
All right, folks, we're about 5 minutes out from Dallas PD. We came to Dallas. We were here last year with Dallas PD for the 4 Dallas police officers that were murdered and the 1 DART officer that was murdered. Last year we vowed to come back every year indefinitely for the Cannonball Memorial Run to honor the tremendous sacrifice that both those agencies made that day. Johnny wants anything to say about this upcoming stop?
Looking forward to it. We'll be there in, probably about 12 more minutes. Looking forward to it. Looking forward
maybe a
to
little sooner, right?
seeing everybody from last year, hopefully.
Yep, so we're going to sign off here for just a minute so we can get everything situated, and we'll go live here in the next couple minutes, so don't go too far.
All right, well, thank you, YouTube audience, as well. You're welcome to continue watching us cruise through traffic, but we apologize if the audio is a little unfortunate. This police escort appears to not have used the most efficient route through metropolitan Dallas, but we appreciate them nonetheless.
We're going to Dallas PD HQ, right?
Yeah, what? 1,200, 1,400.
Water.
Yeah, 1400
Here you
South
go.
Lamar Street.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to be here for 2 hours.
Give or take. Not, well,
Take more.
What's our next stop?
Houston.
Houston is next. Are we going to have any trouble getting in there?
I don't think so.
All right. And after Houston, we will go to Baton Rouge.
Yep, Baton Rouge to West Wago.
Where's West Wago?
It's more like on the eastern side of New Orleans, I believe.
Okay.
The southeastern part of New Orleans.
West Wago, and then to Americus, Georgia.
Yes. And
Then-
after Americus, Georgia, it's off to Orlando.
And Kissimmee.
Orlando Police Department to honor a total of 4 officers. 1 from Orlando PD, 1 from Orange County Sheriff's Office, and then 2 from Kissimmee.
Terrific. Goodness gracious. Then from Orlando, we're up to Charlotte, Richmond, D.C.
We're up to Windsor, North Carolina.
Windsor.
Windsor, North Carolina. After Windsor, North Carolina, it's up to Richmond, Virginia. Then Richmond, Virginia on into Washington, D.C.
Phil Jackson is Brad Powers.
Phil Jackson. What a scam.
Kevin, is your battery charged up to go live here?
Let's move this around here a little bit. So,
Copy that.
hello, guys. Let's turn this camera around.
So they can see the wonderful traffic now.
This is where we're at. This Challenger has interrupted our police escort, but he's not being terribly ambitious. Drift, please, is the request of Syed. Unfortunately, this Suburban is reluctant to overcome its traction. And we haven't got the room. And it weighs about 6,000 pounds. Here we are in the great city of Dallas. You're welcome, Nick. There's an airplane flying into Dallas. If we hold it up this close, is the sound all right, viewers? All right, terrific. See a bit. It's dark in the car. Aha! Everyone.
What's up?
All right, we are exiting. Alex, can I trouble you to hold this? Maybe just generally point it about.
Alright. Oh.
And you're now in the distinguished hands of Mr. Alex Roy,
Is this
ladies and gentlemen.
Is this necessary?
Absolutely. Show the world. And people might have questions for you, Alex, that you could answer.
Bubble, that's a great suggestion. It's not going to happen. Nick, the duck is Omar, the Schreiner's duck.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Can we just stay here in the fun town? What's happening here?
These are extras for a movie.
How do you know?
That's
It says studio there.
yeah. They
What
are.
movie? Well, America's next top singer.
That could be. A lot of torn jeans is popular.
Bubble, you're asking what moisturizer I'm using, and the answer is I don't have to. My skin is fair, and I stay out of the sun. And so I'm always has a nice sheen to it, and it never have an issue with moisturization.
What a privilege life you live.
All the money you saved on moisturizing creams.
It's amazing.
That's how he finances these cross-country escapades. All the money saved.
Yeah, Ed, look, I figured out why people like you so much. It's your smooth voice. People just they can't get enough of you. Have a voice for radio.
Someone said I sound like a white Obama.
Yeah, it's a good speaking voice. What's wrong with that? Oh, hey.
What'd you say? This station. Yeah.
Oh, we're here
Yes,
We've
we are
arrived,
here.
viewers.
at Dallas PD. Here we are.
On you? I'll have to get some from out of
All right, I'm giving you this.
All right, thank you.
We've arrived.
Goodness. Hello, viewers. We are here in Dallas. I have been driving for a good long while, but we will survive. There we are.
Behind you.
I'll give you a little tour. Thank you for our police escort. That was lovely, and we do appreciate it. So again, we're live on the Cannonball Memorial Run in downtown Dallas, Texas, here to honor some of the fallen officers they've had in the last 12 months. Alex Roy and myself are joining this fine trip, along with Jason Hendricks and a lot. This is our 2017 Suburban, rented from Enterprise, and this is the team. Say hello, Kevin.
How you guys doing out there? Likewise. We're going live Facebook yet?
Hello, Facebook.
They've seen and heard a lot from you.
Turning it around, perhaps. This is the other Suburban that we've got. This is the one I've been driving, and our police escort, and Alex Roy. Dallas Police Headquarters, and some of the fine officers that we've come to honor. So what we're doing is collecting the patches from all the organizations that have lost an officer, and each of them are placed in this lovely box that James and James have created. And this is going to be sitting on the desk of the Attorney General of these United States on Monday. So these are some of the patches from each of the jurisdictions that we have collected.
That's about it? That's all you
guy that
want?
because I sent Mitch an email that we'd be here at 8 o'clock, because I was thinking much longer to get here.
All right, guys, I'm so glad you've been able to join us on this, and we'll try to go live again. We apologize. The signal around here has been abysmal on my AT&T network, but we love you fans of VINwiki, and we love you as fans of law enforcement. Thanks so much for watching, and please share this video with your friends. Have a great night. Bye.